Alcute is a roadmaster with the Southern Rail Vancouver Island. You've been on the rails since you were 18 years old.
Yeah, almost 34 years complete here now.
And it's in your family.
It has. My dad was on the rail in the late 40s. He started actually and transferred here in 79, and I somehow followed his footsteps, had the exact same job as he did when he retired, so yeah, which was in 1985.
And what is your job?
You know what, good question. I kind of wonder that every day myself, but it's Roadmaster actually takes care of all the maintenance on the track, but we are a short line, so really we do everything, you name it. If I'm up there polishing a window maybe one day, changing a bulb one day, maybe marketing the next day, but maintenance is really what my background is, right? So yeah. Engineering.
I'm going to ask you to take us back in time a little bit, given your family history and first-hand experience. We don't really think of rail transportation in our everyday lives today, but going back in time, it played a much bigger role.
Boy, I can go way back in time. How far do you want me to go?
Okay, let's do it. Go back as far as you can.
I can remember being a kid on these trains, right? So really grew up on the railway. When I was first born, we lived in a railway station right beside the tracks, right? So.
And where was that?
Saskatchewan, which that railway station is now moved into a small community as a baseball clubhouse. But I grew up on little putt-cup cars, or motor cars as they call them, and spent a lot of time with my dad on the rail. So yeah, I can go back a ways, that's for sure. Yeah. It's definitely in the blood.
Now, it's not a part of people's everyday life today, but there was a time?
Oh, absolutely.
On the island, and even in this region on the island.
When I first started, we were extremely busy. We still had the line going to Lake Cowichan, the connection into Osborne Bay. Passenger was huge. Yeah, it was a busy place, and hopefully we can get there again one day soon. So.
When's the last time you saw one like this?
You know what? I would have been a kid back in Saskatchewan. So.
Yeah, what can you tell me about this train?
Well, I do know one thing for sure. It's absolutely beautiful train, and it's the same one that Rick Mercer was on when he did his little show. So apparently it was a centennial train in 1967, so it's got some great history to it. So.
Right, it's the Island Explorer, and we're going to explore some of that train later on this edition of Go Island. When you see this, what excites you, being a train man?
What cannot excite you about that? Look at that beautiful thing. It's absolutely wonderful. I don't know, you know what, it sounds great, it looks great. It's just an absolutely wonderful piece of history that I think has huge potential for Vancouver Island in the future. So
excellent. Okay, and you're going to have an opportunity to hear that train and ride it at a special event coming up on April 8th and 9th. We're going to tell you more about that a bit later. It's time now for some extreme science.